So if you have an assembly already built up with quite a few parts, how do you go and add another part? So the way we do that, it's called create part in place. And this creates a new part or subassembly within the context of an assembly. So let's start by going to our class files, assembly, regulator folder, and opening up regulator assembly. We'll come down to new assembly, parts library, come up from our last folder, to our assembly files. I want to go to the regulator folder. Here's the parts inside there. That looks like the assembly right there. So I'll drag in the assembly and there it is. So again, I can expand over here and see all the parts inside that assembly. But now what I'd like to do is add a part in here. And the way we do that is to come up here to create part in place. Can't be created until the assembly is saved. So I'll save the assembly. And I'll call this in place 1. Now it asks me, how would you like to create the reference plane? Just on the default axis? Well, actually no. I'm going to come down here to buy graphic input and hit OK. So I'm going to come over and identify the face I want to work with, and it's actually right on that axis. And so I'm just going to accept that. And what do I want to call the new part that I'm creating? I'll just call this tube 22. So now it gets grayed out because look what's happened. I was in the regulator assembly, but now I'm in tube 22 part inside the assembly. So that's why I have all my part options right here. Now I'm going to come up to the borrow command. It's called project to sketch. So I'll identify that. There's my reference plane. I'll select the reference plane. Just take the defaults. I'm going to identify that surface. I'll identify that inside line right there. And I'll come back to the circle by center point. Put another circle there. And then I can come out and just grab that region and pull that out. Let's push that symmetric. See how it goes into the part. Let's just go in that far to start. So there's the idea how you create a part in context. And then I could just keep building this up. I could lock to this plane, come to the center, and so I'll just add some material there. So again, I'm in tube 22 part file. To get out, I simply come up here and close. Now I'm back to the main assembly. And tube 22 is just a part of that assembly. That's how we create parts in place in an assembly.